Good morning, economists. I hope everybody's happy today. I believe I'm sharing my screen with you. This is not one of our lectures that I wanted to go over with you, but I've been meaning to take a few minutes. Usually I do this during a actual class time to go over our discipline. Here at K-State, we have a very vibrant economics department with student-centered approach. And faculty that are still very active and respected in terms of their research productivity. And we feel, and I particularly feel, that it's a great fit for students that are looking to major in something that will set themselves up for some really nice opportunities upon graduation. And so what I wanted to do was take a few minutes to go over something that's been kind of hidden on your Canvas page and maybe you haven't taken a look at, which is details about our economics major. We currently have about 135 majors in the department. We've had a substantial growth in the discipline over the years as econ has become increasingly a more and more popular major in terms of particularly what our employers are looking for in terms of wanting to have people be a part of their team. Economists tend to be very good at critical thinking. They are respected for their problem-solving ability and their analytical skills. And so by majoring in economics, not only are you taking the signal of completing college in a way that's a positive to employers, but you are completing a degree, again, that's highly respected. It's not easy. It's not for everybody. But it's a great signal in terms of being productive, being capable, and being a problem solver. So I just wanted to go over this module a little bit and let everyone know. And if I had the ability to, I would put it in the Krylon, but I don't know how to do that. Anyone that's watching this, I'm going to try and make this publicly available to everyone in our principles classes that would like to go over the opportunity for themselves to major in economics. Shoot me an email at dkeister@ksu.edu. I'll put it in the description of the video. And I would be happy to have a Zoom meeting with you where we talk about the cost of either switching to economics or actually adding the econ major to your current degree. One of the things that is great about the econ major, if say you're a business major or a major in another college of some sort, you could add the econ degree with very little additional cost in terms of hours. Some of the college-wide requirements for the College of Arts and Sciences are forgiven if you're dual majoring in engineering or business or one of the other colleges that folks want to take a look at. So here's my information right here. I am Dr. Dan Keister, dkeister@ksu.edu. And again, I'd be happy to talk to you about this. And obviously, if your instructor has posted this video, if you're not in my class, you can obviously start with your instructor and they'd be happy to help. All right, so let's take a look at just, again, this is kind of our brochure in virtual form. What is economics? Economics is the study of how to best fulfill our unlimited wants with our limited resources. And so in its essence, economics is a study about making good choices, being able to ignore sunk costs, weigh decisions at the margin, and think about what the gains and the costs are of making that decision, compare all relevant opportunity costs, and then make a good decision, hopefully. And so obviously in your principles classes, you're getting this at a very basic level, but if you take some of our upper level courses, you can see the applied decision making that comes into kind of having that economic mindset, which is really considered valuable again to employers. We have all kinds of different classes in order to become an econ major, and I think this is one of the future links here. You have to take 5 required classes, which is principles of micro, principles of macro, intermediate micro, intermediate macro, and senior seminar, which is our capstone course. And then you have to take 5 upper level classes. And out of those upper level classes, we have about 20 choices, give or take, where we can decide what we want to do. You can take classes in public finance or government policy, Business strategy, things like game theory or industrial organization. We're teaching history of economic thought this fall. We're teaching comparative economic systems. There are different courses in economic theory that are out there. You can take a labor econ course. Econometrics and forecasting is being offered this fall. Money and banking, I already mentioned labor. We have international trade, international finance, economic development courses this fall. All these listed topics. Sports econ is a course that Dr. Ross and I teach in alternating semesters. And all these, he's taught health econ before, which is obviously very topical right now. All these classes are very applied and very interesting, and things that once you have that economic toolkit, you can really jump into policy decisions and problems and make, we hope to make good decisions. What jobs can I get with an economics major? Really, you can run the gamut here. And I don't know if this PDF, I think I'm going to need to open it and then share my screen again. But this really does run the gamut of the types of jobs that you can take on. Let me just make sure that my share is correct here. Okay, it was, sorry. But yeah, we have some really great opportunities here for jobs that folks might want to consider. The fields are numerous. Healthcare management is something that's very typical. Investment banking, finance, law. One of our majors is a consultant, business consultant for the Milwaukee Bucks organization. And people go, commercial real estate is another. I mean, we really run the gamut here of the type of fields that people do. Actuarial science. We just had Sarah Henderson from Aetna, CVS Aetna, come and speak to our sophomore seminar class about the opportunities in actuarial science. We've had a lot of people do that. We get consultants. Those tend to make really good money that have gone to both kind of smaller firms and then some of the big folks as well. And they've done really well. Yeah, medicine is not that uncommon. Legal counsel, policy analyst, a lot of people will do graduate work in public policy. Those things are very common. We get a lot of people that go to Koch Industries. We get a lot of people that go to Cerner, that go to State Street in Kansas City, to Sprint, to Union Pacific. The Federal Reserve Bank has hired several of our majors in recent years. Bank of Blue Valley is another one. Deloitte, some of the big five firms. The Department of State, we have people that work for the Department of Bureau of Labor Statistics, for example. Just econ majors from K-State, major judges as well. We mentioned the Milwaukee Bucks earlier. U.S. Congress Joint Economic Committee, Christina King does that, and she's going to show our econ club around D.C. here when we get to go in a few months. So again, we really do kind of run the gamut of the types of jobs that folks can take on with an econ major. Once again, I'm just going to make sure that I'm sharing this accurately. I don't want to be talking to myself here. Yeah, so that's the list that we had to bring up separately. Okay. Econ majors, salary information. This is all publicly available. You can find it in different formats. Econ is at or near the top of all business majors, certainly very much at the top of what we might think of as social science or arts and sciences majors. And the great thing about econ major salaries are they tend to start well, but then have more growth than other majors. And so there's a lot of, again, this is a skill set that's highly valued by firms. And then a lot of our folks have developed, whether it be programming knowledge or analytical knowledge or critical thinking skills that are highly valued by employers. And there are things that it shows that the econ majors start with better salaries typically. And then if you look 5 or 10 years in, their salaries have grown more than the average person. So again, a lot of different information here that, again, obviously this module should be on your Canvas page. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but this is what I was talking about. Even if we kind of start in the middle with the engineers and some of the business folks, is that over time, the econ majors tend to have much more economic growth than these other degrees. So again, yeah, most econ jobs are somewhere involved with either the federal government, the finance market, management, scientific research, or other government consulting type jobs. There's a lot of different things that you can do with an economics degree. And I'm not going to click on this link, but we'll leave that there for you to potentially take a look at. I will give you a confession. When I went to college and I majored in economics, I thought I was going to go to law school. And the reason I made that decision was I thought that this would be the best possible outcome for me in terms of being successful. And I knew that econ was the best major that would indicate future success on the LSAT degree. Now, if someone is kind of a struggling student, just majoring in econ will not magically allow them to ace the LSAT. But again, this is why we are so highly valued, is that there's a skill set involved with econ that tends to do well on the LSAT, on the GRE, on the MCAT, on any number of exams that are preparing for law school. So here, or for different graduate schools, excuse me. So we can see the LSAT scores, GMAT scores, MCAT scores, econ. Again, it's a sharp group of folks that you're joining if you major in economics, and we get a chance to develop that skill set that you might have working with these individual students in your small group projects and just in your studies. That I think that kind of mentality, herd mentality, or getting a lot of great folks together also tends to accelerate your academic progress. What does it take to get an econ degree? I mentioned this before. You must take principles of micro, principles of macro, intermediate macro, intermediate micro. There's also an intermediate micro theory course that you need to choose from. Senior Seminar in Econ is a great course where we, as a capstone course, we make sure your resume is together. We make sure you're good at presenting in a group. You present a Wall Street Journal article typically in that class. And we make sure that you kind of understand how the world works as well. So there's a lot of great stuff that we do in Senior Seminar to prepare you for your career. And then I mentioned the 5-course sequence of the 500 level and above. That's where you choose between, health econ, labor econ, sports econ, international trade, international finance, history of economic thought, econometrics, managerial econ, money and banking. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Transportation econ. I think I mentioned sports, a lot of great choices. You need to take Stat 1 and Stat 2, and some people simply take business calc to get that done. There are different tracks. These are ways that you can focus your studies above and beyond simply being an econ major. Now, I feel that just being that econ major is going to be a great signal to employers, but people that want to go into consulting or actuarial science may wish to do the analyst track. Law school or public policy school, economic policy track might be for you. And we have both the business and the financial economic tracks. Again, I'm not going to go over the details of that, but I would be happy to discuss this with you individually if you have questions about a track you might wish to pursue. And again, this is just more detail about the tracks. I'm not going to read this, but it is on the module, and we would encourage you to take a look at that. A lot of our majors do the general degree option simply because it sets them up for a lot of flexibility. We get a lot of majors that dual major in things like math, philosophy in some case, statistics, accounting, finance. Those are probably our most common dual majors. Political science is a common one as well. So you have a lot of great options that you can easily get a dual major along with the econ degree. We are giving a number of scholarships. Here's a photo of myself and our scholarship winners from just a few years ago. We have awarded, I believe, 34 scholarships for next academic year, and we've still got 2 or 3 that I believe will be available for great students that decide to major in economics. So we're having less outreach on this than we've had in the past in terms of our in-person meetings. So again, get together with me, let me know, even if it doesn't end up working out, we'd love to investigate these opportunities. Most of these scholarships are around I would say about $1,000 a year. Not all of them are $1,250 at this point. So We were a little bit, you know, there's things that influence those amounts, but they are substantial, around, right around $1,000. Other opportunities, I'm really excited about our Econ Club. We have a great number of speakers that we bring in once a month. We aren't doing any more events this semester. If we have to do Zoom things in the fall, we will, but they're great networking opportunities. A lot of our students have found jobs from some of our big field trips that we've taken, whether it be to Chicago, just to Wichita, Dallas. This year, we are going to head to Washington, D.C. once it's available. We went to Milwaukee. We've gone to Boston. We've done a number of exciting Econ Club field trips, and those are great networking opportunities. Then we bring in a variety of speakers, whether they be business leaders or academics that interact with our students. We do a great student price index every year in the Econ Club. It's a great chance for you to have something on your resume that says, you were quoted in the local paper, you were interviewed for things the Econ Club has done outside of class. We have a mentorship program where we will potentially partner you up with a professional who can help you, develop your skill sets. Every year, we take students to the Dallas Federal Reserve to participate in the Economics Research Symposium, and we have a number of classes, including econometrics and forecasting, that can develop your skill set as a analyst if you choose to take that track. Finally, we have a great sophomore seminar class that's exclusive to majors. This semester we have 11 students in there, and they've met with people talking about behavioral economics. They've met with people from Cerner. They've met with people from, again, Aetna. We had Sarah Henderson speak to the class just a few weeks ago. In the past, we've had speakers from Union Pacific come in. From the Federal Reserve, they'll speak to this class. What that class is designed to do is give you a in-person meeting with folks who have done it, that have graduated from K-State, that are usually a few years into their career, and you can see the types of jobs that our majors can pick up, and something you may want to follow in the footsteps of some of our great speakers that we have. And we talk a little bit about current events in there as well. So it's a really, really fun class. Here's our photo of a fairly recent Econ Club field trip. That's the old Bean there in Chicago. So we were in Millennial Park in that photo. And I think that's our last slide. I wanted to keep this at 15 minutes. I went a little bit long, but I hope you'll seriously consider asking some questions about how you might major in economics if you're interested. The minor in econ is just 18 total hours of econ. That's another option I'd be happy to talk to you about. So again, I'm Dan Keister. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Studies in the department. If you have any questions about majoring in economics, I hope that you will set up a time to talk to me about it, and we can just go through the options and see what might work for you. So it really is a great opportunity for folks. We think we're a little bit overlooked sometimes by some people. People get a little nervous because econ is perceived to be more difficult than some other disciplines, but the rewards are tremendous for folks that can succeed in it. And we have some great advising, we have great resources, tutoring, opportunities to help you succeed with the major. So I hope to hear from you. I hope that you'll think about the advantages of majoring in economics. Have a great day.